Hello there.
Multiverse is definitely cracking and splitting open in the MCU right now, and we've seen a lot of crazy stuff from the first Loki season and Multiverse of Madness, although I thought that was a little bit underwhelming. But people are always looking ahead and asking the question, what comes next? So as we debate what comes next after Secret Wars, most people are leaning towards the idea of the MCU being completely rebooted. So in this video, we are going to take a look at some new evidence that kind of points towards the fact that we are in fact going to be seeing the Marvel Cinematic Universe rebooted, and hopefully seeing these main Avengers recast and then eventually joining the likes of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and stuff like that.
You are Earth's mightiest heroes, and I've called you together for one reason. The end of the world is here.
So that we can have one cohesive universe with all of the heroes in it and stuff. So we'll discuss what this means for the MCU, what this means for the future of the MCU, and how they would go about executing it. If you guys enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and let's get into the video.
The Atomic Fan.
So I saw this on Twitter, and this is what inspired me to make this video. It said that the writing is on the wall and that Avengers Secret Wars is very likely setting up a soft reboot to the entire MCU, kind of like what The Flash did for the DCU. It'll be a send-off for not only the entire Foxverse, but the MCU we've all grown to love. In the aftermath will be an all-new, all-different MCU. Now, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of all-new, all-different Marvel. I hope that this is not the route that they would be going in terms of the characters and stuff like this.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Because the MCU post-Endgame already sort of feels like all new, all different Marvel. But when the Marvel universe in the comics was reset, we saw a lot of the characters from different universes living cohesively in the same universe. For example, Miles Morales and Peter Parker. And that's something that we'll probably see with the MCU, with probably the recasted versions of the X-Men joining the likes of the new Fantastic Four, and maybe a new cast of Avengers with a new Iron Man and a new Captain America, and possibly a new Thor as well. Now, I would like to see Chris Hemsworth continue as Thor personally, but I know that these actors tend to grow tired of the role after so long, but that is probably how things would be set up in the MCU, where we would see Secret Wars, destroy the entire multiverse, and maybe Franklin Richards or some character like that, which is kind of what happened in the comics, would craft this new Marvel universe. And I'm sure it probably wouldn't be Franklin Richards, it would probably be a different character, but honestly, it sounds dope. It's kind of what I want. I'm kind of tired of seeing the MCU and the way it is now. They've really taken it and shit all over it and shit all over the legacy that was left behind in Endgame. Shows like She-Hulk and Secret Invasion.
Sorry.
Infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
Stuff like that just tarnish the whole legacy of a lot of characters, including the Hulk, including apparently Rhodey from the end of Endgame that apparently wasn't the actual Rhodey. And then they neutered Nick Fury. It's a whole nother video's worth of content, but they've done a lot of stuff that has made the MCU fall off the wagon in a big way, especially with what they did with Thor: Love and Thunder.
You've lost Lady Thor.
Eat my hammer!
What the hell is even that?
So I'm ready to see a reboot of the MCU, to be honest with you, and maybe a new cast of characters. I would appreciate a new take on Iron Man and Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. will probably always be the best, the same way that I like Tobey Maguire the best as Spider-Man, but nevertheless, I think we do need to see all of these characters together in one cohesive universe, and resetting the Marvel universe would sort of pull the drain on all the MCU content so far and kind of drain it out and reset it and allow some new storylines and new continuities and stuff like that. Now, I do think there are certain characters that would probably carry over, like the Fantastic Four and maybe some characters from the old Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I think most of these characters would be recasted, especially the send-off of the Fox X-Men. It looks like the Fox X-Men will probably be involved in Secret Wars and then will be sent off at the end of Secret Wars, and we'll finally get our new X-Men and new set of mutants. Now, I think for anybody who reads the comics, this is probably not much of a surprise, the route that they're going with the MCU. and then rebooting it. I mean, there really is nowhere to go in the MCU after Secret Wars. That's probably the biggest possible battle that you can have in any particular universe when you're fighting for the fate of the entire multiverse, quote unquote. So, you know, they kind of hit a dead end wall there, and Marvel's going to have to go ahead and reset. And you know what? I think if Marvel was really smart, it would take 5 or 10 years off from making movies altogether, because there's definitely superhero fatigue. Whether the writing is good or not, there's only so many superhero movies and stories that can be told. I do think there are a lot of unique comic stories that have not been adapted. Kraven's Last Hunt from Spider-Man is a good one. A lot of the Batman stories are very unique in the way that their stories are told. But, you know, too many superhero movies or westerns or whatever are going to oversaturate audiences and just kind of make them tired of watching these movies altogether. So if Marvel was really smart, I mean, yeah, I think they would really take 5 or 10 years off from making movies, but I don't think Disney is going to let them do that. But I'm interested in what you guys think. So put your thoughts down in the comments below. And for this video, that's all I got, guys. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.